nuclear war is very serious, and this is Tulsi Gabbard, who MSNBC, I guess, was criticizing Tulsi Gabbard for her comments on nuclear war. There was sort of some accusation that maybe Tulsi Gabbard was peddling Russian propaganda. And so, since I studied nuclear physics, I definitely want to give my opinion on this and another opinion on something that, you're going to be saying the same thing. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So, I'll go watch some of the video and then I'll give you the comment. And also, like, what does she want us to do? Like, does Tulsi Gabbard think that, does she want everyone to suddenly become agents? Like, we're all gonna become volunteer foreign agents? Like you know how they have volunteer firefighters and volunteer, all these volunteers. Does she want everyone, the American people, to become like voluntary CIA agents? Does she want everyone to suddenly become voluntary FSB agents? Like, what does she want? Like, seize us? Like, what is she expecting us to do? Chelsea Gabbard is complaining about the rich elites. How are we supposed to stop the rich elites? There's not even an election. It's not even like we can vote the rich elites out, as if even voting makes a difference. But like, what does she want us to do? So, anyways, let's just play the video and then I'll do a comment. So.
It's just before the top of the hour. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard posted a bleak video on social media warning of a nuclear holocaust. The 3-minute video includes imagery of atomic blasts and simulations of American cities and landmarks like the Golden Gate Bridge being destroyed. Gabbard blames the political elite for pushing the world's superpowers into a global war.
This isn't some made-up science fiction story. This is the reality of what's at stake, what we are facing now. Because as we stand here today, closer to the brink of nuclear annihilation than ever before, political elite and warmongers are carelessly fomenting fear and tensions between nuclear powers.
And what are you doing? Like, you're trying to promote, like, you're stoking fear among us, like the people. Like, we're already, like, living in our cars. Half of us are homeless, jobless, we're being discriminated against. And you're like, not only do we have enough stress on our life because we don't live in big mansions and condominiums like you do, you're now, like, stressing us out. Like, this is supposed to be your job. You're the director of national intelligence. This is supposed to be your job. This is literally what they're paying you for. And now you're coming on social media complaining that we're at the brink of nuclear war because you're not doing your job? Is that why we're suddenly you're the director of national intelligence and now you're coming and complaining at social media that we're on the brink of nuclear war? Why? Isn't that your job to stop the nuclear war? What do you want us to do? What do you want the people that are living in their cars, the American citizens and Canadian citizens that are homeless, or even the ones that are just getting by paycheck to paycheck, the ones who have like other jobs like they're plumbers, and they're firefighters, and they're chefs. What do you want us to do? Like, we're not trained in espionage. We're not trained in diplomacy. We're not trained in even nuclear physics. Like, I just took 2 courses in nuclear physics. I'm not even trained in nuclear physics. What do you want us to do, Tulsi Gabbard? Like, you're coming on social media and complaining that we're close to nuclear war. Isn't that your job to prevent that? Like, you're the director of national intelligence. Listen, give me the job, okay? If you don't know what you're doing, and they're paying you what, like $250,000 a year, and the best you can do is complain on social media that we're this close to nuclear war. Give me the job. I'm from Canada. I'm a smart ass from Canada. Okay, if you can't stop a nuclear war from happening, then I can. Give me the job, America. Okay, give a smart ass Canadian the job of trying to stop the nuclear war. Because I'll tell you what, I'm going to go and I'm going to go into Russia and I'm going to say, look, I'm going to say, America, okay, they're not perfect. Americans may not be perfect. They might have done slavery. They might have dropped 2 nukes on Japan. They might have invaded Korea. They might have had a Cold War with Russia. They might have Okay, Putin, maybe you're right. Maybe you should just go ahead and drop those nukes. No, no, no. No, you know what? Actually, I have a really good strategy on how to stop the war. Very simple. Very simple. We're just going to, all those beer companies that left Russia. You remember when they were boycotting Russia and we're like, we're leaving Russia, all the beer companies, we're gonna leave Russia. Well, then you sobered up the Russians. You took the drunkest army on the planet next to Ireland. You took the drunkest Russians and you sobered them up. Now they're all like professional military people. Okay, here's how we fix this problem. We're gonna send all that beer that we took from Russia, all the beer companies that boycotted Russia. We're gonna send all that beer back to Russia. We're gonna get the Russians drunk. We're gonna get the Russians super super drunk. We're gonna get Putin drunk, and it's gonna be like we're gonna have just a big party, and then we're just gonna have lots of beer, and we're gonna bring lots of pizza. It's gonna be like a Super Bowl game. It's gonna be like a football. Nothing ever goes wrong at the American football Super Bowl events. It's gonna be like a big American football Super Bowl event. We're gonna have beer. We're gonna have pizza, and then the Russians will be so drunk off their ass, they're gonna totally forget about nuclear war. Like once the Russians are drunk off their ass from all the beer and all the pizza and their stuff with all the pizza, then they're totally gonna forget about nuclear war. But right now, all you're doing is you're the director of national intelligence, and the best thing you can do is go onto social media and complain to us that we're on the brink of nuclear war. What are we supposed to do? I don't work for the CIA. I'm not a Central Intelligence Agency agent. I don't work for the FSB, the Federalная Служба Безопасности of the Kremlin. I don't work for CSIS. I don't work for the Canadian Security Intelligence Service. Okay? So what do you want us to do, Tulsi Gabbard? You're complaining that we're on the brink of nuclear war. Literally, we're already stressed out. We're already poor. We're discriminated against. The police are, beating up those peaceful protesters every day. And you're coming on social media, and not only do the American and Canadian people have problems as it is, but now you're coming on social media and you're complaining about something that's your job. It's literally your job as the director of national intelligence to stop nuclear wars from happening. So what are you intending to do by coming on social media blaming us? Like complaining about this to us as if we want a nuclear war, as if Canadians and Americans want a nuclear war. Well, maybe Japan does, since America dropped two nukes on Japan, and Japan figures they can get even on America dropping two nukes back. But anyways, that's aside from the point. What do you expect Canadians and Americans to do? You're just coming and you're doing the fear mongering. The fear mongering that you're accusing the rich elites of doing is exactly what you're doing, Tulsi Gabbard, because you're accusing the rich elites like Elon Musk. You're accusing people like him of fear mongering, but that's exactly what you're doing. You're coming on social media and you're saying we're on the brink of nuclear war, but it's your job. You're the director of national intelligence. It's your job to stop the nuclear war. So listen, if you can't do the job, give me the job, okay? Give the job to a smart-ass Canadian. Okay? Let me go to Russia. I'll go to Putin, okay? And then we'll figure something out. But yeah, that's all I want to say.